So recently, I have found myself intrigued by a Super Mario 64 fan project called Be331Free. I'm not pronouncing that as a number. It's a ROM hack that was created to reimagine Super Mario 64 with a focus on every copy of Mario 64 is personalized. That myth. This creepypasta claims that there is an adaptation AI that changes the game to fit the player's desires, playstyle, and skill. Now, I don't think I need to tell you that this is a creepypasta and it's just that, a creepypasta. It isn't real, and I can tell you that there is no AI that adapts to your skill level. That or my own AI just hates me. Anyway, while I was watching videos about Super Mario 64 horror, I got reminded of the other creepy things in Nintendo games. Games like Ocarina of Time or Majora's Mask, or even some non-Nintendo games like Spyro. The original, not you, scram. And all of these thoughts and memories got me wondering, what made these games so creepy and disturbing? So if you've been on this channel for any amount of time, you know that this is not my usual style of video. I'm usually the funny chicken man playing games or playing Roblox. However, today I am not the chicken man and I'm not playing games. Okay, technically I am, but shush. No. Anyway, back to the topic at hand, let's start off with some Before we get into what made these games creepy individually, there are a few things that they have in common. First, to get this out of the way, the low poly graphics can be seen as uncanny or disturbing to some people. Due to the limitations of the hardware at the time, they could only do so much with the models and textures and characters. This results in a lot of characters looking dead. I mean, look at Toad. He looks like he's planning to kill somebody. Another thing that contributes to these factors is just the overall empty feel in some of these games. The most prominent example is Super Mario 64 with the outside area of Peach's castle. Look at this and you'll see what I'm talking about. There's no music, just the sounds of birds chirping, and even then, I don't see those birds. There's butterflies, but come on, they don't make noise. Oh my gosh. The sound of Mario's footsteps being really loud only adds to this feeling of emptiness. You know those like liminal space games where you're just walking through the back rooms and all you can hear is your footsteps and musty carpet noise? Yeah, that's kind of what it feels like. And this is also present in other games that came out around that time, but Mario 64 is for some reason the most prominent example. Alright, I know this is not a Nintendo game, but let's take my boy Spyro for example. Not you! The open world exploration they were going for unfortunately left the world feeling empty and abandoned. It doesn't help that in order to get the game running smoothly, they had to make objects and enemies disappear depending on how far away you were. So if you view the area from very far away, it'll just look empty and dead like the desert from Mad Max. There's nothing there. There's also a third thing that these games have in common, and that is they are broken. Now, at the time of their release, these games were of the highest quality. People thought it couldn't get any better than this. But over time, people like glitch hunters and speedrunners have snapped these games in half. People have been able to beat some of these games within 6 minutes. What am I getting at here? Well, with how broken all these games were, it can be easy for things to look out of place. It makes you feel like something just isn't right. Okay, now we can finally move on to what makes these games creepy individually. These can range from being unintentionally disturbing to dear lord, what were the devs thinking when they made that? Without further ado, let's start off with Okay, so I know these are two separate games, but I'm gonna be honest with you, I haven't played either of them. So I'm sorry if the points I make here aren't entirely accurate, and I decided to lump them together because from what I've read, they're connected. Anyway, let's rip the band-aid right off with this beautiful fella. This is Dead Hand. That was arguably scarier than the guy. Dead hands, yes plural, there are multiple according to the wiki, have zombie-like heads with large jaws. It has green blood and is assumed to be splotches of red blood cover its body. Inside its chamber, there are multiple disembodied hands that try to grab the player and restrict their movement. Now, do I need to explain why this is freaky? Bro looks like a mummy that just woke up because you were blasting Fetty Wap into sewers or something, I don't know. I think I could speak for a lot of people when I ask what were the devs at Nintendo snorting when they made this? Okay, so to get this going faster, here's some creepy things this guy does. When he grabs Link, he laughs as he goes to attack him. And like I said earlier, he looks like the corpse of the old man from Monster House. Alright, that's all I really know about him. Get him out of here. Go. Shoo. Scram. Okay, for the next thing, I'd like you to look up. Huh. That's the Big Dipper. This is the moon. Yeah, I can't really find another name for it, so from now on, I shall call him Gary. Okay, you're a little late this time. Please stop. Gary here is very angry, and his whole purpose is to crash down into the clock tower and destroy this town or something. I don't know. Now, again, it's very obvious why this is disturbing. And I could see, even for myself, he's a little disturbing. I'm pretty sure I wouldn't like to see that looking at me when I was walking at night. However, his high detail model looks like he's about to get a little freaky, and I don't know how I feel about that. Yeah, that's really all I have to say about him, because what am I supposed to say? He's a ball. A big ball. He's the boulder from that one episode of Thomas the Tank Engine. Anyone know what I'm talking about? Plus, I don't want Zelda fans to tear me apart because I don't know everything about their favorite game. Okay, now, let's move on to... Finally, the real reason I made this video. Yeah, this whole video was just an excuse to talk about Mario 64. I don't know what it is, man, but recently I've been so interested in Mario 64 horror and the beta of the game. And there's a lot to unpack here. Mario 64 has recently gained some infamy for being uncanny and giving off strange feelings. Before we get into this section though, I want to put it out there and remind you that Mario 64 isn't meant to be a horror game. I mean, the music slaps, Mario can break dance, and it's, in general, just a bright game. But you don't care about that, do you? No. You're here for the disturbing imagery and funny scream sound effect. Now, to start this off, I want to talk about one of the main themes a lot of Super Mario 64 horror stories have. A simple stage called Wet Dry World. Okay, what is up with the peanut gallery today? While many have said they have felt a negative aura from this stage, I don't really get that. Instead, the feeling I get is curiosity. There's something about this stage to me. I don't know what it just gets my gears turning. From the skybox, to the simplistic layout, to the town, it's all so interesting. And I think that comes from something I haven't heard anyone really mention. It looks like the beta. The beta of Mario 64 is something I've also become fascinated with. I won't get too much into it because if I did, this video would be like an hour long. But I just want to play this version of the game. Never before did I think I would say, I want to play an unfinished game, but you know, here we are. There's an entire website that compiles all the stuff we know about the beta and Super Mario 64's development as a whole, so go check it out if you want to, the link will be in the description. Anyway, when you look at a few images of the beta stages and Wet Dry World side by side, they kind of have a similar vibe. I'm not crazy, right? I don't know what it is, they just look similar. The walls kind of look like Peach's Castle's walls, and the colors... I might be going insane. To move on, this stage also has a strange theme of drowning. When you finally manage to reach the other town segment, not only was it hidden behind a giant cage and a long tunnel, it's weirdly empty. Now there's countless theories about what happened to the citizens in this town, like they all drowned or something, I don't know, or Wario came in and scooped them up, even though Wario wasn't even in the game. But I offer a different explanation as to where the citizens went. There weren't any. It's fake. Look at the roof of this section of the map. It's not like the walls. It doesn't look like anything in the map. It almost looks metallic, while the walls and floor are made of stone. And if the town has been filled with water, why don't any of the foliage look wet? Now you might be asking, but Vern, where's your evidence to explain this? Why is this here? And that's a great question. Also, people have said that the music in Wet Dry World is creepy, and while yeah, it's weird that they chose the Hazy Maze Cave theme, I think it's a bop, just like all the music in Mario 64. Bowser's theme is rocks, I still listen to it. Anyway, like all the other games, there's other elements that add to the uncanny factor. For instance, look at this nice piano. I can't wait to play my Or there's the overall empty feeling of the castle. I mean, sure, there's toads, but like I said earlier, I think they're plotting to kill me. And then there's the looping staircase. Yeah, enough said about that. There's nothing really. I could see how people were freaked out about this. Unfortunately, I think the overall horror of Mario 64 is created by feelings rather than intentional scary moments. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. In fact, I think it actually helps to the game's creepiness factor. Not that it was supposed to be creepy in the first place, I'm just saying it. The whole personalization theory actually comes from when you play someone else's copy of Mario 64, it feels different. Like it's not the same. But I can't really talk about any of the really creepy stuff without diving into a rabbit hole. I only talked here about what's in the game and what made those creepy. If you want me to do a separate video on those, I could probably. So that's what I think made old Nintendo games really disturbing. I'm definitely not the first person to talk about this, but I want in on the fun. I like nice things. Anyway, I've been VernGamer. God loves you. Have a great day. Take it easy.